So yes, the SEC delays spot Bitcoin ETF decision for all applicants, including BlackRock and Fidelity.
The SEC delays making a decision on a bunch of spot Bitcoin ETF applications. The crypto market kicking off September in the red after capping its worst month of 2023. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin had dropped about 4% to the $25,000 level, while Ether fell 3% to $16.34. XRP was also down more than 3% at 50 cents. The gains made after the Grayscale court ruling just could not last. In the past 7 days, Bitcoin's dropped about 0.5%, while Ether fell about 0.7%.
The regulator has now announced delays for all 6 of the new ETF applications. Now, the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission has delayed these until October, making a decision on all of the spot Bitcoin ETF applications filed by applicants, including BlackRock, WisdomTree, Invesco Galaxy, Wise Origin, VanEck, Bitwise, and Valkyrie Digital Assets. From this, Bitcoin is down over 4.1%, as well as Ether down a decent percentage as well. Now, we know BlackRock is huge, and we also know that this may be inevitable, that these applications are going to be accepted. In fact, several sources think so.
It is clear that Bitcoin is something that retail investors want access to, that institutional investors want access to, and importantly, some of our most trusted providers who are fiduciaries or have duties of best interest want to provide this product to the retail public. So I think, as Anthony said, an approval isn't inevitable.
Now, what's odd about this is BlackRock is going to be going through Coinbase. And as we all know, the SEC has been going after Coinbase in several different cases. Could this be why the SEC is delaying one of the largest, if not largest, institutions, their spot Bitcoin ETF? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain why this is bad for retail, potentially bad for Bitcoin, and what I am doing, what I'm buying. I have 4 things to bring up that I want to talk about before the week starts that I will be purchasing and loading up on through the month of September. So without further ado, guys, we have a lot of crypto news to go over. All I ask in return is for you to please hit the like button on the video. It helps get this video out to more investors like you guys. Also hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. Now, this spot Bitcoin ETF is to save investors the trouble of setting up a wallet or having to buy Bitcoin directly. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm sure if any person, any retail investor wanted to buy crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Dogecoin, SHIB, I'm pretty sure they found a way by now. There has been many crypto waves, NFT waves, which were tied to crypto. And I'm sure if you invested in Bitcoin, you found a way to do it, even if that doesn't mean you don't own your keys. And the reason I say that is because even investing in a spot Bitcoin ETF like BlackRock is trying to start and open up, you will not have your keys to the crypto. See, all this is doing is tracking the price of Bitcoin and handing more money to these bigger institutions and bigger players. They plan on relying on Coinbase's spot market data for the pricing of this ETF, and apparently the plan is for Bank BNY Mellon to be the cash custodian of the spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, I want to talk about why I'm loading up on Bitcoin especially and adding some Ethereum to my portfolio, and for the first time in forever, actually entering the crypto market with some money. Well, number one, Bitcoin is on a discount. It's sitting at $25,000, and if we take a look historically, September is the time to buy. There's absolutely no doubt about it. September is the time to buy Bitcoin. September is the time to buy into the S&P 500, and September is essentially just a fire sale that you can get once a year. But why Bitcoin in 2023? Well, if you guys don't know, there are 235 days until the Bitcoin halving. Now, this is essentially going to cut the supply, which normally would raise the demand, and this is why I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are the easiest purchases in September. I'm going to be loading up from September to October to November and maybe a little bit in December, and then see how Bitcoin ends up doing for me and playing out. And if you don't know what a Bitcoin halving is, here is a 50-second clip from a channel that explains it better than I could.
Another historically bullish event for Bitcoin is on track to happen in early 2024, the next Bitcoin halving. What is Bitcoin halving? So blockchain is just a list of transactions that are batched and saved in blocks on the network. So in the Bitcoin network, after every 210,000th block of transactions is created, the amount of new Bitcoin that enters circulation as rewards for miners is cut in half. Hence the term Bitcoin halving. And since the amount of new Bitcoin entering circulation is cut in half, or halved, that means less Bitcoin will be produced. Therefore, a decrease in the supply. And if demand remains steady or increases while the increasing supply of Bitcoin is divided by half, we usually experience upward price movement in anticipation of the event, and more exponential price increases historically 12 to 18 months after the halving occurs.
Now, if you go back and you take a look at Ethereum, you can also see September is historically the time to buy. This was last September. Ethereum got a little bit of a pop, sold off before essentially peaking. The September before that, this is where Ethereum traded right against this trend line and peaked in May of 2021. Following that, no decrease at all in the chart. Now, before I play the rest of the crypto news that happened this week, I want to talk about Mara and Riot. Ticker symbol MARA, Marathon Digital Holdings, and Riot Blockchain, two of the blockchain mining companies that are going to be affected by the Bitcoin halving. Now, I want to let you guys know right now that I am not personally adding too big of a position in these companies just because I don't think they are in necessarily the best position, especially taking a look at their previous financials. However, what I will say is that when Bitcoin and Ethereum do play out these cycles, this is something that you could see in Mara as well as Riot, coming up to around $42 a share. This is just my outlook on Mara, or at minimum $34 a share. With that being said, from where it's trading at right now, that is around a 250% gain or a 175% gain on Mara. And I think the same thing will come for Riot as well. Fun fact, Riot is the first ever stock that I've ever invested in way back, and I made a video on this. Was my first video on the channel on this stock, so I do have a little bit of bias towards Riot. I am just purchasing a little bit of that as well. But if you don't want to enter the crypto market, take a look at Mara and Riot as stocks that you can enter that are correlated over to the crypto market. And to move on with the video, this is every single thing that happened this week regarding the Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF, Robinhood, what's happening in the crypto market, and I thought it was explained pretty well, so I'm going to throw it in the video. So far, if you guys are enjoying the crypto update, enjoying the crypto video, let me know in the comments down below on what you are entering or exiting and what you think about the Bitcoin halving as well as the spot Bitcoin ETF that BlackRock is trying to push through.
First, the SEC just delayed making a decision on a bunch of spot Bitcoin ETF applications as expected. It filed 7 notices yesterday, pushing the deadline to October for proposals for nearly all of the spot Bitcoin ETFs under review, including those from BlackRock and Fidelity. The delay comes 2 days after a court ruled in favor of Grayscale over the SEC, requiring the agency to further review the company's application to convert its popular Bitcoin Trust product into an ETF. The SEC has 240 days to consider an application once it starts the review process. So theoretically, it can keep pushing the latest wave of applications until March 2024. Back in August, the SEC delayed a decision on another spot Bitcoin ETF under review from ARK Invest in partnership with 21 Shares. The final deadline for that proposal now stretches into January 2024. Next, as Bitwise awaits a decision from the SEC on its spot Bitcoin ETF, the firm is pulling the plug on another crypto ETF proposal. The firm requested a withdrawal of the Bitcoin and Ether market cap strategy ETF, saying the trust no longer intends to seek effectiveness of the fund, or in other words, to launch the product on an exchange. Bitwise originally filed the proposal with the SEC last month, and the ETF would have given investors exposure to both Bitcoin and Ether futures contracts. At the same time, though, Bitwise is still optimistic on the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs. Matt Hogan, the company's CIO and a veteran of the ETF business, told CNBC's ETF Edge on Wednesday that he thinks Grayscale's court win this week means we might see a spot ETF by the end of 2023. Finally, Robinhood just bought back Sam Bankman-Fried's stake in the company. The trading platform announced on Friday that it completed the purchase of all 55 million shares, worth about $605.7 million. The U.S. government had seized those assets from Emergent Fidelity Technologies, which was co-founded by SBF and former FTX exec Gary Wang. Bloomberg reported that Emergent went bankrupt back in February with only that Robinhood stake and $20 million in cash as assets. Just days after that bankruptcy announcement, Robinhood's board approved the plan to buy back those shares.
Overall, guys, that is what I got for today's video. Make sure on your way out to join the Discord. The link is right under the video and pinned in the top of comments. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks all day long, and we have options trading alerts in there. It's literally $1 a month, so get in the Discord. Also, guys, if you want up to 16 free stocks for doing absolutely nothing, Moomoo is having a great promotion for September. Your money is safe in here. It's a legitimate platform that is commission-free. The customizable earnings calendars are absolutely dope. So if you want to see how your favorite companies do, they show you in real time and give you the fastest updates. I like Moomoo for the notifications personally. Ultimately, once you sign up and make a deposit of any amount, you're going to start earning awesome benefits from there. It's basically free money, so you might as well do it on the weekend while you have that extra time. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.